It is now my great pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the university's honorary doctorate in public affairs. The Faculty Senate of the university has agreed to recognize the achievements of certain outstanding individuals by awarding them an honorary doctoral degree. The Board of Governors approved this special recognition beginning in 2002. In order to be nominated, a person cannot be a current member of the university faculty, staff, and administration, or Board of Governors, nor can they be an elected serving official. Although individuals with nationwide and worldwide recognition are not excluded, preference is given to distinguished candidates who have not already been widely recognized and honored. A faculty committee selects the honorees, which in turn are approved by our Board of Governors. It is our great pleasure to recognize our 20th recipient this afternoon, who is Dr. John D. Bentley. Dr. Bentley earned his medical degree from the University of Pennsylvania Medical School in 1964. He completed his internship and residency in internal medicine at the University of Wisconsin. He has practiced medicine for 52 years in various healthcare organizations and in various capacities, including Mercy Hospital and Jordan Valley Community Health Center. Dr. Bentley was the co-chairman of the Greene County Medical Society's Community Health Committee, chairman of the Physicians Fund and Board of Directors with the United Way of the Ozarks, medical director of the Kitchen Clinic, medical director of the Changing Hearts program at Hammond's Heart Institute. He helped launch Jordan Valley Community Health Center and was previously the medical director of Jordan Valley Community Health Center. Seeing the need for additional patient assistance, Dr. Bentley started the John D. Bentley Fund in 2006 to provide support for patients needing care and treatment they might otherwise go without. The fund is supported by the Bentley Fund 5K held annually during July in the heart of downtown Springfield. Dr. Bentley has been honored with many awards, including the Springfield Business Journal's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2014, and he was named the 2015 Springfieldian of the Year. I'll read the final paragraph of the Faculty Senate resolution. Therefore, be it resolved that the Faculty Senate of Missouri State University has recommended and the Board of Governors has approved that the degree of Doctor of Public Affairs be conferred upon Dr. John D. Bentley in recognition of his extraordinary achievements in the area of public affairs. John, would you come forward?
Thank you very much.
Podium is yours.
Hey, thank you. Thanks to Missouri State University for having me here. And thanks to all of you for being here. I was amazed and thrilled when they called me and told me about this degree. Then I wondered if some of you were also amazed and thrilled to be here to get your degree along with me. One of my favorite authors is Kurt Vonnegut, who wrote Slaughterhouse-Five, 1969. He was also a good graduate speaker, and he compiled his speeches in a book called If This Isn't Nice, What Is? And that ought to be our theme today. If this isn't nice, what is? When I looked at the prior recipients of this award, I thought, what are they doing, giving this award to some old doctor? Then I looked at the prior recipients. One of them is Jan Horton. She's sitting right up there. The bird expert, one of the founders of Community Foundation, and my sister-in-law. So one of the things you learn in Springfield is we're all related. Then there was Sean Askinosi, the chocolate guy. There was John Goodman, the famous actor. There were 2 or 3 or 4 other ones, 2 of which were on the board at Jordan Valley Community Health Center. And finally, and the one I'm going to talk about as we get going here, was Sister Lorraine Bible, who was the very first recipient of this award. I have some advice for the graduates, and I think that's my job, is to give you advice. And the advice is, find a mentor. A mentor is somebody who can give you advice, someone you can look up to, someone you are happy with, someone who can criticize you happily. Keep looking for a mentor. I'm going to tell you about my search for a mentor. I grew up in eastern Pennsylvania. Went to high school in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Now, the name of the high school was Liberty High. And I happened to have been one of the graduation speakers. That was in 1952, 64 years ago. I can still remember my opening statement. Remember the name of the school. The statement is, "Citizenship and liberty are synonymous with Bethlehem High's mission." I have no idea what that means. And I don't even know why I remember it. But I did graduate from high school, so I have a degree from Bethlehem High School. Then one of the major events of my life took place. I transferred to Missouri. Actually, I went to the University of Missouri. It'd been good if I could have said I went to Missouri State, but I didn't. I went to Columbia. I had gotten a Navy scholarship, and they sent me there. My father, who had gone to the University of Pennsylvania, was very, very pleased. He thought that if you had a Midwest education, which we all have had, your work ethic was superior. So he was pleased when I selected Missouri. Then I told him I wanted to be a doctor. He then asked me if I had any idea how much medical school cost. I didn't know, but then I looked it up. It's somewhere between $9,000 and $15,000 in 1960. Now it's 10 times that. I did tell him that I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people. And he quickly pointed out, you don't have to be a doctor to help people. He was an employment searcher for the Bell Telephone Company, and he looked for employees, so he helped people. You don't have to be a doctor to help people, he told me. So he and I tabled the medical school issue, and I came west. And what an incredible decision it was to come to the University of Missouri, because Roseanne Knauer, who's also sitting up there, was there. And she became my wife and has been that for 58 years. She's the mother of 4 incredible kids. And the grandmother to 12. It says in the program, and I have to make a correction to the program, that we have 2 great-grandchildren. We really don't. We only have 1.5. Emma Bentley, one of my granddaughters, is sitting up there. Emma, I'm sorry. We had you having that baby before September. I think I just wanted to say I had 2 great-grandchildren, but I have 1.5. Well, I got a degree in chemistry, mathematics, and graduated from the University of Missouri, and then had to go to the Navy because they had sent me to school. I learned how to fly airplanes with propellers. And my grandsons, some of them are thinking, that's really pretty cool to fly an airplane with a propeller. After flight training, we were all sent to Okinawa, where I flew patrols down the China coast looking for Russian submarines. We never saw one. I did see a lot of Japanese ships, a few typhoons, and drank some pretty good Filipino beer. Eisenhower was president then. That's how long ago this was. And the world was fairly peaceful. No wars. After the Navy in Okinawa, I did get into medical school, and my dad helped me. He was on board. As a matter of fact, I went to the University of Pennsylvania, his school. So I was back east. Penn was the first medical school in the United States and probably one of the best. And it was expensive, but we made it work. Here I studied the art and science of helping people. And my dad got to watch me for 3 years. He then developed angina pectoris, which is heart disease with blockage. And in those days, that was a bad diagnosis because it was before open heart surgery, before stents. During my third year at medical school, the entire class got to watch the very first open heart operation that occurred in the eastern United States. There we were watching a heart-lung machine in operation, artificial heart valves, defibrillators. The patient, unfortunately, did not survive that, but 110 medical students got to see an incredible event and the beginning of an incredible era. Well, my dad's coronary artery disease progressed, and the arteries closed, and he missed my medical school graduation, but he was there. Then the Bentleys went off to Madison, Wisconsin, where we learned how to really practice medicine, how to listen to chest, how to listen to hearts, how to read an EKG, how to interpret a chest X-ray. If you go to your doctor today, here we are in 2016, and he doesn't put a stethoscope on your chest or listen to your lungs, you call him on it, and you can tell him, I sent you. That's good medicine, and they ought to practice it. Well, after all that training, Roseanne and I and the kids moved back to Springfield, Missouri, and I went to work at St. John's Hospital. I still like calling it St. John's rather than Mercy. And while there, that's when I volunteered to work at the kitchen clinic. The free clinic that was over on the north side. And it was under the care and guidance, supervision of Sister Lorraine, who was the very first recipient of this award. She was almost 60 when I first met her. She had been running her food pantry and managing the Missouri Hotel for many years, and then began to set up a medical clinic in a little van behind the hotel, and that was the kitchen clinic. There were several doctors that volunteered there, and Sister Lorraine watched over us, got us more equipment, more medicine, more space, finally got us a new building. She was a nun, a nurse, a businesswoman, and an inspiration, and she became my mentor. I don't think she knew she was, but she was. And then she became my patient, or actually she let me become her doctor since she was in charge. Pretty soon we realized that we were stretching a little bit. We couldn't serve all the people we needed to serve. If a patient developed a little income, they couldn't go to the kitchen clinic because it was free. If they became a Medicaid patient, they couldn't be seen there. So then she and I and several community leaders realized there was a grant out there called the Community Health Center Grant, and we applied for that. 2 years later, after much application, we got the grant, and Jordan Valley Community Health Center was born. What a place that is. From a small, thank you. From a small 10-room clinic on East Division Street to a huge multi-specialty dental clinic with 300 employees and more doctors there than you know what to do with. Sister Lorraine stayed at the kitchen clinic. I became the director of Jordan Valley for a few years, but she and I remained a real team, always exchanging ideas, always guiding each other, I think. 13 years have gone by. The satellite clinics and the main Jordan Valley are growing, and the kitchen clinic now is on your campus. You all ought to be extremely proud of that. The free clinic staffed by volunteer doctors and paid staff from Missouri State University. So you are now a part of that. Sister Lorraine died last fall at the age of 92. But I believe she and my dad are here with us today to help us learn how to help people, which is our original goal. Thanks to MSU. Thanks for this degree. Thanks to all of you. And please remember, if you find a good mentor, you can do great things. Thanks.